So what Damien showed you within a twig template, it is also it was needed to be possible to be able, thank you, to be able to include an old template that you already developed in a new one. Then the routing fallback, so that all your old modules still work. Low legacy content templates with legacy rules. It means that all your override.ini, all your rules inside your override.ini still work. Compatibility with settings as well. And yes, access Symfony services from all your legacy modules. So it's quite a lot. You can imagine our faces reading that list. Yeah. That was pretty much what our faces at that time. And then product management came with a Scrum story. Yes, as an easy published user, I don't want to be pissed off by some new version. Well, basically the use case was that, yeah, when we switched from Easy Publish 2 to Easy Publish 3, there was no backwards compatibility at all. And the result was that we just lost the 2/3 of its users, community members and so on. So, well, we didn't want that. So we accepted the challenge. And how we did that, then Patrick will explain a bit to you.
Yes, to be able to, you want surely to rely on something that you have developed before, and you don't want to lose what you have developed before while in Easy Publish 5. And to be able to run some sandboxed code, we have used a closure. A closure is something that you have in PHP, starting with PHP 5.3. And thanks to that, it's possible to encapsulate some old logic that you have, to pass it to a function, and then this code will be run in a sandbox code, so that it mimics the old Easy Publish 4 legacy environment. A way to do this is while being in a front controller, you just ask the legacy kernel to use the run callback. I will take the pointer, it's much easier. So there is a legacy kernel that you can retrieve from here. This is something that exists in Easy Publish Legacy and Easy Publish 5. You run a callback, and as a callback, you are creating a closure, which is an anonymous function. And here you can realize that you have something that is probably familiar to you. So here, you basically instantiate an easy template object, where you are passing some variable, and you are fetching the template as before, and this will return you all the output of your templates. You are returning this. So when the callback, when the closure will be retrieved, the output of this will be encapsulated, will be assigned to the legacy template result. So basically, this is how you can run any kind of legacy code while being in the new Easy Publish 5 stack. Okay, next one.
Yeah. The icing on the cake about backwards compatibility is that Easy Publish Legacy still works independently. So this is now very easy to migrate, so that even if you're not ready to have all your codes inside Symfony, you can still rely on the Easy Publish Legacy stack. It can just point your virtual host on the Easy Publish Legacy folder, and it will work. Just works.
It will just work like before, basically. Now on to slightly a small bit on the public API. This is what is doing getting the database results, all the models, or the main objects as you wish, and just a brief overview of its structure. This is from the beginning when we were talking about the structure. There was a binder folder in Easy Publish 5, and within that you would find Easy Systems, Easy Publish, and within that you would find this. So this is the API. It's 3 parts. The only thing you need to care about is the API itself. If you want to hack on Easy Publish, you need to care about core, but that's only if you want to hack. Persistent SPI is basically what you will do when you want to write a storage engine. Storage engine is good luck. It's basically what we refer to when you want to point Easy Publish to another database than MySQL, for instance. You want to use NoSQL or whatever. Then it's technically it's the persistent SPI. In normal words, storage engine. Repository, yeah. And this low-level interface doesn't care about permissions or any business logic or anything like that. It only cares about storing and retrieving content. And we have several other interfaces for dealing with binary files, field types, or data types, as we know them in Easy Publish 4. And they can all be found in SPI. Just a small example of how the API can be used. This one is from within a controller, basically found in demo bundle, which is in Easy Publish 5 repository. Here you get the node ID as a parameter. You get the repository, the location service. This is from domain-driven design. You have a repository, and then you split up services for the different parts of your system. So in this case, we want the location, so it's found on location service, and then a load. For the Symfony stuff here, should you maybe talk about that? Or?
I'm not sure it was actually said, because in Croatia it wasn't clear what the API is for, because we thought about public API, we have been for like 2 years. Public API is what we will use to implement everything in Publish, editing content, viewing content, creating sections, every module, the new back-office editor interface. This will be the public API. We won't have hard-coded SQL queries in code anymore, but we're not supposed to. It is also what you will use if you want to import, let's say, CSV to your repository. You will use this API to inject the content into the Publish and get it back. So this is what you will use. It is publicly defined. It is documented. It has interfaces. So now we know what's public, what's private, and you do as well. So yeah, you're going to work with it a lot, and that's why we're insisting on how it works and what it does.
Yeah, I just wanted to insist a bit on the Symfony part here. So as you can see, we just build our response object. This is what Fabien Potentier told about yesterday. So this is from the HTTP Foundation component from Symfony. So basically any controller, any action from a controller needs to return a response object. So here we create it in advance in order to set some cache. We need to have this cache public, so we force it to be public, and set a max age of 60 seconds, so that, yeah, you will have it in cache for 60 seconds. And as this is rendered, this one is rendered inside a sub request, so please feel free to browse the Easy Publish file repository. This is in the page layout. And this is done in a sub request with the flag standalone to yes. So it will be converted to an ESI tag. And yeah, the render method is just a helper to fill the response object. And yeah, you just fetch here the template identifier, which is basically first the your bundle, semicolon, the subdirectories. Here you don't have any, and then the template name with of course all the variables passed as a hash there.
And the only parameters passed to the template here is a bunch of locations, the children, and that is done here. Everything with the API is fully autocomplete in regards to code completion if you're using an IDE that allows you to do that. So it lets you very easily browse our API from within your IDE. And for now, that's everything on public API today. Then we are going on to something also quite important in this Polish file, and that is REST API.
Yes, yes it does. Okay, good. So I need to switch. I will speak for a minute or so, a bit more about the REST API itself, because well, it seems there is quite some interest about REST among you. So to summarize, we have a REST API that does reading and writing of pretty much everything so far. Contents, fields, locations, users, roles, groups, approximately everything. And read, write, update. It handles permissions. Currently, in regards to permissions, we are a bit limited. We only support session and basic. We don't have auth. So mobile applications won't be for right now, but we will implement it soon. About REST, a brief summary about what we support. We support input and output in both XML and JSON. You can send XML and get JSON or the other way around or any combination. It is mostly based on headers. So if in your header you say I want XML, you will get XML. If you say you are sending XML, you are sending XML. And so on. Exceptions are HTTP based. Something is not found, it's a 404. Error 500, permission denied, and so on. It's all pretty standard, and it is very well documented. Okay, internet is not that well documented. I'll show you a local version. If in the EasyPNext repository, in the doc specifications folder, you have basically this. It's a bit better style on GitHub. This is the REST specification and documentation. That's the table of contents. So it's a bit long. It documents every possible method you have. And this is a good overview of how we work. It's pure REST, so we work on HTTP verbs and resources. If you want to get a content object by ID, you send a GET request to content objects ID of the object. If you want to update it, you send a put request to this URI. If you want to delete it, same thing with delete. And so on and so on. That's for content. You have the same table for sections, the same table for users, same table for roles, and so on. So honestly, it's very easy to work with. That's an example of a request. You send some XML with a few headers, and you get back some XML with other headers. We try to respect the HTOAS principles. This means that starting from the root resource, you should be able to browse anywhere within the repository without hard-coding any URI. We are not 100% there yet, but quite close. Well, I guess you're a bit bored with hearing somebody talk, so I will just demo something. We worked very hard to demo you creation of contents. Unfortunately, we have a matrix error in the code.
I know what's wrong.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So I'll show you creating a section.
You created content, but you didn't publish it. That's why there was no location.
No.
He said he didn't want to know.
I'm
here for you today.
Yeah, to my defense, I didn't create documentation. So anyway, creating content works. We, of course, have a few bugs, I guess, on a few field types, because we're in beta stage. We will be fixing them, but the global principle does work. What I will do instead is a bit more simple. I will get sections, create a new section, show you sections in the back office, and delete the section. It at least shows that read-write works. So, yes, it's not very large, but it should be enough. which one is what here? Content sections, is that a get? What I want? Yeah, that's